Okay, we have a quiz review. Your job in the first part is to solve the following equations for x. Okay, so line up those boxes. We'll do one problem per box. So this is example 1. -7 equals -2 plus x. So here's your equals. The x is on the right side. Now what are the operations? -2 and x is a plus, so there's no times or no divide. So I circle the x, and we have to get the -2 to a 0. So you get a +2, +2. Line your equals up. And you have x. -7 plus 2. So remember, I've got -7 is my starting number. Then the 2 is plus 2, -5. Don't have to multiply or divide that one because I didn't have either one. Example 2, 7x equals -112. Okay, so x is on this side, so 7x means 7 times x. So when you circle x, you need to circle the times or divide number with it. Okay, so I don't have anything I need to get to a 0 on that side, okay? It's just the times 7 I have to deal with, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to divide by 7. So 7, 7. So you now have x. 7 divided by 7 is 1, but then times x would just be x. So -112 divided by 7 is -16. Okay, next one, example 3. We have x, -3 equals -20. So x is on the left side, so the operation's divided by. So like with multiplication, I want to circle the divided by number along with it. Okay, there's no number outside, you have to take the 0, but you have divide, the opposite of divide's times. So times, times. -3 would be the number we want to times each side by, so that now the x is by itself. So negative times a negative is a positive, and that's 60. Okay. Example 4. -30 equals x plus 8. So here's x on this side. So between x and 8 there's a plus. So there's no times or divide. I just circle the x. Get your 8 to a 0. Okay. So you would -8. Then -8 from the number on the other side. So now you have x by itself. Now I punch in -30 and then -8. So subtract 8 from -30, you'd be at -38. Okay, example 5. Okay, so the x is on the left side. There's no operation between the 5 and the x, so that means times. So I'll need to circle the times number along with the x. Now there's no number out here you have to take to a 0. You have times, you're going to divide, okay, by the -5. So having the same number on top and bottom means I now have just x by itself. Okay, and then 55 divided by -5 is -11. Okay, example 6. -42 equals 3x. So x is on the right side. 3 and x needs an operator, so times. Again, the only operation we have on the side of the x is times, so I divide to figure it out, but show your work. Underline both sides, and you place the 3 underneath there. Because now x is by itself. So I take -42 divided by 3, it means -14. Okay, example 7. X divided by -4 equals 8. Okay, So you have divided by negative 4, okay? So we have divided by, so I want to circle the divided by number like I do with the times number, okay? But if I have division, I need to times, okay? So times by negative 4. Those can cancel, and I now have x. If I have a times by a number, and then on the same side I'm dividing by that same number, well, those cancel out. Then I take 8 times negative 4, and that'd be negative 32. Okay, x minus 2.4 equals 1.8. So x on this side. Between the x and the 2.4 you have a minus. Well, that's a plus negative, but there's no multiplying or dividing going on here, so I just circle the x. And now I have to get the negative 2.4 to a 0. So I add 2.4, because you'd move forward, and I add 2.4 to the 1.8. So now I have x by itself with no operations. I take 1.8 plus 2.4, 4.2. Okay, next page. Okay, I have 3x plus 7 equals 19. Now the x is over here, but I have to know there's two numbers over there with the x. What are the operations? Well, you got 3 times and then plus 7. That's why you want to circle the times. Now you're going to divide, but you have to get the plus 7 to a 0 first. So you would minus 7, and then minus 7 from the 19. So we have 3 times x, and then 19 minus 7 is 12. And then to figure out a multiplication, you do the opposite. You divide by 3. So x equals 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, my next problem, 5x plus 4 equals 19. So x is over here, but there's two numbers over there with it. What are the operations? So we have times 5 and plus 4. Okay, you have to get your plus 4 to a 0 first. You would subtract 4. So 5 times x, 19 minus 4 is 15. Then to figure out a multiplication, we do the opposite. We divide by 5. So we have x by itself, 15 divided by 5 results in 3. Okay, next one. Negative 7x minus 1 equals 13. Okay, now there's two numbers with the x on the x side. So times negative 7, circle that. And then the minus 1's fine, but you want to make it plus negative so you can see that you're going from negative 1 to 0, which would mean you're moving forward by adding 1. (13 plus 1 is 14, and then we got negative 7 times x. Okay, so I see times, we need to divide then to figure that out. So negative 7, negative 7. It's got to be by the number I put under the lines is the number of times by the x. Okay, 14 divided by negative 2, 7 is negative 2. Okay, next we have 2x minus 13 equals 3. Okay, so we have two numbers with the x at times 2 and a minus 13, but it'd be plus negative 13. Circle the times. So before you divide, you have to get rid of your negative 13. So plus 13 plus 13. So that gives me 16, and then 2 times x. Okay, to figure out the missing number and what we don't know in multiplication, we have to divide, okay, by 2. Okay, so 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, next one, x divided by 3 plus 4 equals 6. So the x is on this side. We have a 3 and a 4. So divided by 3 plus 4. We have to get rid of the plus 4 before we worry about the divided by 3. So move that backwards, and then move the 6 backwards 4, and we wind up at 2. Now, to figure out a division, we do the opposite. We multiply. What number divided by 3 would equal 2? Well, we're going to times by 3 and find out. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. Negative 6 equals x over 4 minus 3. Okay. So x is over here. There's 2 numbers with it. What are the operations? Well, we have divided by 4, so we want to circle that. Multiplying or dividing, we need to circle. Then minus 3, that's like a plus negative 3. So I have to get that negative 3 to 0 before I worry about the divided by 4. So you'd have to get a net from negative to 0, you move forward on the number line, which means add. Negative 6 plus 3, that would be negative 3, because you're at negative 6, you move forward 3, so negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, and then x over 4. Now to figure out the division part, I need to do the opposite, which is multiply by the 4, so that then the x can be by itself on this side. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Okay, now it's time for story problems. Tyler paid $76 for the part to get his car repaired. He also paid $32 per hour for labor. Find how many hours it took to repair his car if the total cost ended up at $124. So hours equals. Okay, so why don't you make your box, okay? So you've got dollars and hours. The time is the x. Dollars is the y. Times whatever measures, one of those measures time. Then per, dollars per hour. The dollars per hour is 32, so 32 times x. It's positive, okay? Now make your table. Please remember to put your labels on your table. X is hours, y is dollars. So since I know it's $32 per hour, I can start at 0 and just go up by ones. Okay, so before the $32 per hour, Tyler paid $76. Then every hour I start adding 32. Okay, 76 plus 32, 108. Then I add 32 again. Okay. 140. Alright, now at the end of the table, okay, or actually no, let's make our ladder first. So equals y. Now where does y start at? Start at 76, then I keep adding 32 over and over. So the equation I use is 76 plus 32 times x equals y. Alright, now we have $124, okay, so I put 124. Technically that should go in between these two, but I don't want to freak you out. So, but it's dollars, so it's in the y column, so y equals 124. So I put 124 where the y is at. I don't need a parentheses because there's no multiply. Y is not being multiplied. 76 plus 32 times x equals 124. Now I make the wall. I have two numbers on this side, the 76 and the 32. So we got plus and times. You got to get your 76 out of there. It's got to become a 0. So I would move backwards 76 and I move backwards 76. So then I have 32 times x. 124 minus 76 gives me 48. Then I have times. If I have to figure out an x with a times, I want to divide by 32. So 48 divided by 32 is 1.5. Now it makes sense because 124 is between these two, so the answer I get should be between 1 and 2, which 1.5 is. Okay, now the next one. A pool holds 50 gallons of water. It fills at a rate of 2 gallons per minute. If the pool has a capacity of 150 gallons, how many minutes will it take the pool to fill? So minutes equals. Okay, so I have gallons and minutes. Minutes is X, gallons is Y. The time is always the X. Time would be like seconds, hours, minutes, months, years, whatever. So per gallons per minute. So what's the rate of gallons per minute? It's 2. 2 times X. So my table, X is minutes. Please label your table so you know what's going on with it. Since I know it's 2 gallons per minute, I go 0, 1, 2. Okay. Before the 2 gallons per minute, we started at 50. Then every minute I add 2. That's what gallons per minute means. 52, 54, and that goes on. So my ladder, I put equals Y at the top. Now Y starts at 50. We're adding 2 gallons every minute, 2 times X. So we have 50 plus 2 times X equals Y. Okay, now 150 gallons. Please put that in the gallons label. So now I put Y equal to 150. So 150 replaces the Y. It's not being, Y doesn't have a isn't being multiplied, so it's just 150. So 50 plus 2 times X. So we got plus and times, okay? So get your 50 to a 0. You'd subtract 50. That's 100. Now divide by 2. Divide by 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. So 50 minutes. 50 minutes, there would be 150 gallons.